Hello students, welcome back to our virtual sessions. Over the past 3 weeks, we've been talking about passive voice and how we use it to emphasize certain aspects of our speech. Well, in today's session, we will go a bit deeper and we will explore the use of personal and impersonal passive structures. The thing that we need to know about these structures is that these can only be used with a certain or a specific type of verbs. These verbs are those who express beliefs or attitudes. Such as think, these are the verbs that we are going to use when talking about personal and impersonal passive structures. Notice that all of these verbs express beliefs or certain attitudes. Okay? Let's start off with the impersonal passive structure. The impersonal passive structure is characterized by the fact that it starts with impersonal subject, which is it, followed by the verb to be in present and the main verb of the sentence in past participle, followed by what we call dot clause. I'm going to give you an example so this makes sense. Let's say that we're writing an essay about the brain. So we're starting off our essays and we say, everyone believes that we only use 10% of our brains. If you take a moment and read this sentence, you will notice that as it is, it's a little bit informal. So we want to use impersonal passive structure to make it more formal. And this is especially common when writing, okay? If we're writing an essay, instead of writing this, we would write this. It is believed that we only use 10% of our brains. Notice how this sentence that is using the impersonal passive structure becomes automatically more formal than the previous one. And please notice that in this sentence, we are starting with an impersonal subject. So the generalized subject in the active sentence, which is everyone, is replaced with an impersonal subject, which is it. Then, according to this structure, we need to add the verb to be in its present form, which is, followed by the main verb of the sentence in active voice in past participle. So, the main verb right here in this sentence is believes. So, we need to replace it by the same verb but in the past participle, which is believe. And according to this structure, we need to follow this by a dot clause. So we just add that and then the rest of the sentence. This is the impersonal passive structure. Notice how the main point here is that we start off this passive structure with the impersonal subject and what we already know about the passives and a dot clause. And we use it in more formal and written styles, okay? That is the main point in this structure. Let's move on to the second structure. And the second passive structure, or the personal passive structure, we modify certain aspects. Instead of starting with an impersonal subject, we are going to start with a personal subject, followed by the verb to be in present simple, followed by the main verb of the sentence in past participle. And we need to add the full infinitive form of the verb, okay? I'm going to give you an example. Once again, let's take a look at our sentence using active voice. People think that she's a genius. Remember that whenever we're changing or modifying the active voice into passive voice, we need to modify certain aspects. So if we go through this sentence, people think that she is a genius, we know that she is the object of the sentence. And in order for us to change it into its passive form, the object needs to become the subject. So I'm going to start the passive sentence with she. And according to this structure, I need to continue the sentence with the present form of the verb to be, which is. Then the main verb in this sentence in past participle, which is think. And according to this, I also need to add the full infinitive form of the other verb, which is. What does infinitive form to be? This is the personal passive structure. So, in this pattern, we start with the subject of the reported clause, which is followed by the passive reporting verb, and the full infinitive form of the verb in the reported clause. We use this pattern with the same verbs that are usually followed by a dot clause in the active form, which are the ones that I gave you at the beginning of the video. So, in a nutshell, impersonal and personal passive structures are used when we want to report information in a formal way or whenever we don't want to state the source of information. The key points in this video were that the impersonal passive structure is characterized by the fact that we need to start with an impersonal subject it, followed by the present tense of the verb to be and the main verb in past participle, and a that clause. We use this pattern in more formal or written styles. When talking about the personal passive structure, we notice that we start off with the subject, followed by the verb to be in present and the main verb in past participle. And we need to add the full infinitive form of the verb. Now, something else that you need to know is that we add this full infinitive form with verbs that are usually followed by that in the active constructions, which are the verbs that I gave you at the beginning of the sentence. That's it for today. Remember that if you have questions regarding this topic, you can join me tomorrow, Tuesday at 9:20 a.m. via WebEx meetings. Okay? Bye.